Hi everybody, welcome to Unprimed. So this channel is basically about my experiences in my first year of the hobby and what I've learned along the way. I'm coming up to about 365 days. Firstly, I'm a dad of 3 young children. I don't get a lot of time, so I've had to learn how to maximise my time that I do get. My kids have just gone to bed, so I'm sort of currently sat here at my painting table. So I'll try to keep this relatively short. I do like to ramble though, so the editing will be doing a lot of heavy lifting. So approximately 365 days ago, I made the worst financial decision and walked into my local games shop. I learned loads from that experience. Primarily though, that almost everyone in the community is super friendly and wants to help. And prior to going in, I was actually quite nervous. That first time though, I learned that the rule of cool is king. Why? Because things change, and at that point I didn't have a clue about datasheets, factions, points, literally nothing at all. I spent a long time looking at the amazing sculptures on the box art with my kids, who were very vocal about their opinions. I settled on the Tyranids, these guys. Why? Because they reminded me of the Xenomorph from Aliens, which was one of my favourite movies growing up. Again, at this point I had zero lore knowledge. The guys at the shop basically sold me a set of cutters, some plastic glue and primer, and sent me on my way with my 3 new friends, who you can see here. I bought some Tyrant Guard. I remember being a bit daunted, but also incredibly excited, opening the box and pulling out the instructions. At the time, though, when I started looking at them, I really struggled to understand what I was looking at. Why I can build them in different ways, why there are different weapons. I deferred to the rule of cool though and decided to build them like this. Why is the plastic glue not instantly bonding? I thought, does it matter if I get it on my skin? Why am I lightheaded? I should probably open the window. So all of these things, when I was first building, were going through my head, and obviously checking YouTube and listening to other people online, I found that actually the glue sometimes takes a little bit of a while to set. It doesn't really matter if you get it on your skin, although it's not ideal. And yeah, you should probably do it in a relatively decently ventilated space. When I cut and stuck the first one, I did them one at a time at this point, so I think it was actually this guy that was the first one. I really I was hooked. So just building it and priming it was amazing. It really kind of helped mindfulness really root me in what I was doing and not worrying about other things in my life at that point, which was kind of what I was looking for. So then after building it, I had to prime it, and I had seen some absolute horror stories online when I'd been Googling on how to do things about thick paint and primer application. The Empress still loves you, by the way, Clarence. That meme is stuck in my head forever. So I YouTubed a load on how-tos, and the best one I found was using a long neck bottle and some blue tack. I did a video for a friend of mine a few weeks later, which I'll link in the video here, or I'll try and edit it in if I can figure out how, to show him how I did it, as he was struggling. His primer was splitting. After that, I did a load on painting tutorials for Tyranids, and I went for these coconut crabs that you can see here. However, I didn't stick with that. So you can see in the back there are a lot of High Fleet Leviathan. But I really learned a lot from these first guys, and I, like a lot of people would say, strip them down and kind of keep them with your army colours. But actually, I refuse to. These guys were my first, and they will stay like this. So it took me a long time, probably sort of coming up to a month of sort of 3 or 4 evenings a week to kind of build and prime them and trying to sort of try different things. And you can see I haven't even based these guys. So I was still using waxy palette paper at the time. I was sort of thinning the paint down thanks to a lot of YouTube tutorials which I'd seen. But I hadn't really used that much shading or tints or anything like that. But I was pretty happy with them, and once I'd done these, I was hooked. And yeah, I'm on to, I basically did about 2,000 points worth of Tyranids, so you can see some of the big monsters at the back there. and then I bought an Emperor's Children Champions of Slaanesh box when it came out. So I've just finished some War Dogs for Armies on Parade, which are the allied units. We'll talk about that later, but here are some I've just sort of finished. So you can see that over a year I've kind of made some progress. I actually went into my current store, my Warhammer store in Portsmouth, big shout out, and they had their 10-year anniversary, and I bought a random box set that you can build and prime for their Armies on Parade at Christmas. So I ended up with the Dark Angels, and I'm going to talk you through me building and painting those running up to Christmas and some of the things I've learnt. So if you'd like to kind of join me along the way or are interested, sign up or just check back in the channel sporadically. Thanks for listening.